it's Vesper Starwolf as Morningstar here for another video. And it's a long time coming, but today I'm finally going to be talking about Otome. I've mentioned Otome a few times on the channel, and if you follow my Twitter, you'll see that it's basically like 90% Otome content, and like the other percentage is furry stuff. And you know, I've mentioned before that Morningstar right here, my fursuit character, is based off of Lucifer from Otome. Oh, hi. So, you know, I thought, I've talked about other interests of mine on this channel, so like Star Stable and fan fiction and stuff. You know, I figured it's about time I just talk about Otome. So first off, I will say that there are some controversial issues with Otome and the company that makes it, Otome. They're kind of, they're a company, they kind of got shitty practices, but I'm not going to be getting into the controversies heavily in this video. I just want to talk about the game itself and why I like it. I'm aware of the more problematic aspects, just letting that be known, but I'm not going to be focusing on that in this video. So what is Otome? Otome is an Otome app game made by NTT Solmare in their Shall We Date series. An Otome is basically a gacha type app game with dating sim elements. If I'm wrong about that, I'll add the actual description here or something, because but to my knowledge, that's what it means. So it's basically a dating sim with gambling. So that is one thing. If you have gambling issues, you probably don't want to pick up an Otome. Like, they're very controversial because of the gambling aspect, and there's some shitty practices, but like I said, not getting into that. So in Otome, you are a human that was chosen for a student exchange program in the Devildom, which is Otome's version of hell. So there's 3 realms. It's the Devildom, the Celestial realm, which is kind of like heaven, and then there's the human world. And you're a human from the human world, and you're going to the Devildom for an exchange program. For the duration of your stay, you live in the House of Lamentation with the 7 demon lords. With the 7 lords, Lucifer, Mammon, Leviathan, Satan, Asmodeus, Beelzebub, and Belphegor, which, as you can tell, they're all named after pretty well-known and powerful demons. And they each represent one of the 7 deadly sins, which corresponds to that demon's sin. Because it's actually strangely accurate to how actual demons' lore is, if you actually look into it. I have a whole thing got planned for that. But, so essentially, you're trying to survive in the Devildom and making pacts with each of the 7 brothers. They are brothers. And that's basically it. It's not a very complex plot. A lot of people are angry that there's not more to it, but I kind of have fun with it. It's what it is. So, if it's so simple, why do I like it so much? Otome definitely stands out from other Otome games. I've tried playing other of Solmare's games and other Otomes, but it's just not my cup of tea. And it took me forever to actually pick up Otome. My friend likes playing games like this, and they were playing Otome, and I remember I would always give them a hard time. They started playing Otome like a couple weeks after it first came out, and I kept giving them a hard time, but like in a friendship kind of way. And I'd be like, ooh, are you simping? You dating some people? And they'd be like, stop. You know, it was all in good fun, and they kept trying to get me to play it, but I'm like, nah, not my cup of tea. Even though I've always been interested in, like, demons and stuff, I don't know, it just wasn't something I was interested in. And that March in 2020, that March for my birthday, it was before the quarantine happened. Like, we went to see the My Hero Academia movie, and my friend was playing Otome as we waited for the previews to start. We got there pretty early, and they were playing it, and I was looking over, and I was like, ooh, you dating people? Ooh. As I do. And they're like, yeah. But they're like, come on, you don't think this is cute? And they show me a picture of Levi, who is Leviathan. Maybe I'll actually put, like, picture. They showed me this card, and my favorite color is purple, so I was like, oh no, he's kinda cute. So, but I pushed it off. But then my state shut down because of the virus. And I was in my house for about a month with nothing to do. I couldn't hang out with my friends, and I had basically binge-watched Haikyuu, and I finished that. And I played Animal Crossing, but I was lonely, and I missed my friends. Me and my friend, which is my friend Grim. You'll probably hear a lot about them. We started talking on the phone a lot. And they're like, hey, I'm just super into Otome right now. I know you're not, but can I at least send you fan art that I think's really cool? And I was like, fine, you can send me fan art. Send me fan art of Levi, because I like him. So they did. And they kept sending me really nice fan art. And I was looking at it. And I was like, oh no, they're cute. So, silently, without telling, while I was still on the phone with Grim, I opened up the App Store, and I downloaded it. And I told them, and they're like, oh my gosh, started playing it. Didn't think it would go this far. I didn't think it would go this far, that one day I would have a fursuit that costs a lot of money based off of one of the characters from a dating sim video game. How did my life turn out this way? How did my life turn out this way? So, I play it, and for some reason, I assumed I would probably play it for a couple of days. Maybe I would pick it up once a day and then after that couple of days, I'd probably drop it. That's what happens with Otome games with me. Like, I just can't get into them. And I always just skip through the entire story. I'm not interested. But something about Otome just really caught my eye. First off, which is very important to me, the layout of the home screen, maybe I'll show it, it's beautiful. It's easy to find things. It's not cluttered at all. One problem I had with Soulmare's other games and other Otome games I have played is that they're an OCD nightmare, which I do genuinely have a very bad clinical OCD. I mean, that kind of thing doesn't really affect it, but the clutter gives me anxiety, and I just can't handle cluttery games. But Obey Me, it knows how to look appealing. It's probably one of the nicer looking Otomes I have played, which people can argue with me because a lot of people say that the mechanics in Obey Me kind of suck and other Otome games are just better, which that's their opinion, but my opinion is that Obey Me is my favorite, and it's good just based on the fact that I actually like it, unlike other Otomes. So it has that going for it, and unlike other Otomes, Obey Me's main character is gender neutral. I know, hold your shock! A problem I have with this genre of game is that the main character that you play as is usually like a long-haired brunette, brown eyes, female character, kind of like Bella from Twilight, but anime. And it's kind of not very nice if you don't look like that. And odds are people playing won't look like that. Or if you don't identify as female, or you're not like straight, I don't know. But Obey Me, the main character, you choose the name, and they use they, them pronouns when referring to the main character. And they don't have a set appearance. You want to know what they look like when Obey Me wants to show off the main character? This is what they look like. We are a sheep, you guys. But this has allowed, like, this fact that the main character of the game can be you, it can be whoever you want to be, has driven the fandom to be so creative. There's so many OCs and main characters that people have made that are so much better than anything the game could have actually given us. One thing, I think the best thing about Obey Me is the community behind it. It's one of those things where it's like, they don't give you a lot in game, but what the fandom makes of it makes up for that. So like, even me, I have my main character Riley here, and my friend Grim has Grim, who we made at the same time on a pit crew, over the phone, mind you, and we didn't know what each other's characters would look like. But we realized when we sent them what we made that they looked similar, so we made them twins. And like, Obey Me has helped me explore like my sexuality and gender, and I just wouldn't have gotten that from another Otome game. And the characters, like I know I've said like, oh, the plot is kind of lacking, but the characters are just so enjoyable, even if they're kind of one note sometimes. I love their designs, and I am in love with Lucifer. Oh my gosh! I'm such a simp. It's funny because when I started playing Grim, you know, she's like, so who's your favorite character so far? And I was like, I kind of like Mamun. And they're like, why? But then You see, I was in what we call denial. I saw that man, and I was like, no, I refuse to admit that's my type. So I ignored it. I went after Levi, since he's the one that kind of got me attracted to the game. And when I say went after, I mean like put them on my home screen. Another thing I like about Obey, which a lot of people don't like this aspect, but I love it. You don't pick one boy and stick with him. You can if you want to, but it allows for very freeing polyamorous options. So you can actually like kiss all of them and not receive any negative drawbacks for that. There's only once, where you kind of got in trouble for that, but that was when everyone asked you to like a dance ball type thing, and if you say yes to all of them, they're like, what were you doing? But that was mainly because they were all hoping to get some alone time with you. And it doesn't even like punish you a lot, because you just end up having to dance with all of them. So, as I was saying, I thought I'd go for either Levi or Mamun. Grim thought I would be a Satan stan because we have much in common, me and Satan. We like cats, reading, and we're both blonde. But I didn't click with him immediately. I do love him now. But that man wormed his way into my heart. I was in denial the whole time. I was like, no, I can't admit that's my type. I can't love him. But then there's a scene at one point where he's like, oh, are you scared? Do you want to hold my hand? And I'm like, yes, I want to hold your hand. Nah. And the rest was history. I finally admitted that I loved Lucifer from Obey Me. And he has become a great comfort character to me. I absolutely love him. You know, that's who my MC Riley, that's like the main one he's ending up with. And like, I do love the polyamorous aspects, but if they change it to where I will have to choose, I will go with Lucifer. And I made a Dutch Angel Dragon based off of him right here, this boy, and got a fursuit. That's how much I love him, and that's how much Obey Me means to me. Like, it's probably silly, but, you know, it came into my life in a difficult time with COVID and lockdowns, and I was really isolated, and it was just there for me. And now I've kind of come back down on it because I had a lot of other stuff, other interests that I want to focus on. But hopefully I think it'll always be just a part of me. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the story. I highly recommend it. And hopefully I'll get this video out on the 16th, because they're actually making an anime. It did so well. That's another thing. Obey Me did so well. Soul Merit actually doesn't, it's a Japanese company, but they don't release their games in Japan anymore. They finally did with Obey Me because it did so well overseas. Because all their games, like, only do well overseas. But it did so well that they're actually making merch and an anime. And I'm so excited. So hopefully this video will actually be being uploaded on the day of the anime, and I'm definitely going to be taking a watch of that. And I do want to eventually buy like a bunch of the merch. I actually don't have any of it right now. Between jobs, but I actually recently got a new job. So when my cash starts accumulating again, I'll probably buy a bunch of the merch and maybe do an unboxing on this channel. Because, like I said, I love Otome, and I want to start incorporating more Otome related videos to my channel. And, like, interesting demon topics in general. I have a plan for a video series, but there's going to be more on that later. And I do highly recommend the game only if you do not have a gambling addiction or you don't have a problem with gambling aspects. Because like I said, as an Otome, you do put money into it to get the card of a character you want, and if you don't get the one you want, you put more money into it and you get another card, and if you don't get the one you want, you'll keep putting money in to get the character you want. So if you have problems with that, I highly recommend you actually avoid it. Maybe just check out the anime and the fan art. They even have like a manga that they have on their Twitter account that they made as promotion for Otome getting released in Japan. So you can still enjoy it. They have character songs and audio dramas, so you can enjoy it without playing the main game. A lot of the fandom don't even play the game anymore. It just depends on what you want. So other than that though, I recommend it if you just want a time waster, I guess. But thank you so much for hearing me out and watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!